Hello, my name is Bruce Whitfield. This is ECN 423, Section 1. Homework 9, Problem 14.23. This is the test bench for the vending machine. Here's the entity for it and the architecture with a signal, that's 1 bit, standard logic for clock, reset, nickel, dime, quarter, and 0. 2-bit signal for the output, which stands for vend and change. Created a state type with states from state 0 to state 60. Created 2 signals, current state, next state of state type, and the component for the vending machine. And then I instantiate that component. At the first rising edge, nickel is inserted, so the next state is state 5. At the next rising edge, a dime is inserted, so the next state is state 15. At the next rising edge, a quarter is inserted, so the next state is state 40. And at state 40, the output is 1, 0. And that stands for an item being vended with no change. A dime is inserted, so the next state is state 10. At the next rising edge, nothing is inserted, so Z is enabled. The next state is state 10. At the next rising edge, a nickel is inserted, so the next state is state 20. And at the next rising edge, a quarter is inserted, so the next state is state 45. And at the next rising edge, it's in state 45. And since it's in state 45, the output is 1, 1 with an item being vended and change being given. A nickel is inserted, so the next state is state 5. And then I have next rising edge, a dime is inserted, so the next state is state 15. And dime inserted again, so the next state is state 25. And at the next rising edge, a quarter is inserted, and the next state is state 50. And at the next rising edge, state 50, a quarter is inserted, so the next state 25, the output is 1, 1 with 1 being an item vended and the other, and then also change being given. The next rising edge, a nickel is inserted, so the next state is state 30. And at the next rising edge, a quarter is inserted, so the next state is state 55. And at the next rising edge, a quarter is inserted again, so the next state is state 25. The output there is 1, 1, which stands for an item being vended with change being given. The next rising edge, a quarter dime is inserted, so the next state is state 35. And at the next rising edge, a quarter is inserted, so the next state is state 60. And at the next rising edge, it's state 60. And the output is 1, 1, which means an item is being vended and change is being given. Reset is enabled, so the next state is state 0. And that ends the test bench. Thank you.